I am super pumped to have this conversation today with you, Courtney. Courtney was one of my amazing one-on-one clients. We wrapped up working together earlier this year, and I just have loved working together. Super grateful for our connection. So thank you so much for taking some time to chat about all of the magic, and we are gonna dive right in. So, Courtney, I want you to share with me when you first were, reaching out, seeking my support, what was kind of going on in your world? What would you say your biggest struggles were at that time?
Yeah, I was just like at a really low point in my life. I had gone through a breakup, like I think, almost close to 3 years, and it was still just like still hard for me. I just felt very low in myself. I didn't feel like I was enough. You know, I felt very little. I wasn't happy with the way my life was going or the way I was treating myself. And, growing up too, I was slowly realizing like friendships in my life were coming to an end, and it was hard to really like put that together with everything because it's
Hmm.
like, these people have been in your life for so long, and it makes you feel really bad about yourself, and it makes you question you and how like you're treating others and how they're treating you. And my like you said, my best friend did a session with you, and then she reached out to me and she was like, you need her, you need to sign up right now. And I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go for it. And because it was time for me to get my life back together and really just like get my sparkle back.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I think so many women can relate to that feeling of like a
Yeah.
breakup that just kind of lingers and lingers. And
Hmm.
I know I felt that way where it's like even years have gone by and you're still kind of feeling like this like empty version of yourself of kind
Yeah.
of like what is like who am I? What is next? You almost just feel like stagnant, like stuck in that pain, you know?
Yeah. Because then it's also like this world and dating right now is just not it. It's just not
Hmm.
easy, and it makes you feel even worse about yourself.
Yeah, because it kind of feels like, oh, well, this didn't work out. I thought that would work out. And then when we're taking, like, reflecting and looking at, like, maybe bad experiences that we're seeing around us from our friends or something like that,
Mhm.
or just in general, and it's like, oh, well, what options do I have? Like,
Yeah.
so you're kind of just like in this stuck kind of energy.
Hmm.
And I think, definitely with friendships too. And it's interesting because obviously so many women come to me for support with romantic relationships, but I would say it's such a common thread that every woman that I coach in some aspect has some sort of like, just either desire for more authentic friendships, true
Yeah.
friendships, or maybe they feel like they've outgrown friendships or just like, oh, like my friendships also aren't lighting me up. And so it is kind of cool how like all of this work kind of like ties together.
It's-
Yeah.
I was just so sick of feeling that way because I like know what I have to give in this world,
Hmm.
and I just needed someone to push it out of me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think sometimes even in like our lowest moments, there can be that kind of deeper inner knowing of like, okay, well, I know I'm pretty miserable right now and things aren't working out the way I want, but I know that there's something available for me. I just need to like get there. But sometimes it can feel so hard to get there by ourselves. And I know for me, I also had like been stuck like that for years and like I just don't know how to get to the other side of this, but there has to be something else like for me, on the other
Yeah.
side of that.
And that's how I was feeling, and like it couldn't have happened at a better time for me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I could feel that from you because you just like, I mean, even we did just initially 2 sessions and some of
Yeah.
the like things that we dove into. Like, I remember even in our first 2 sessions before you even did my actual package, I feel like you already had these like massive breakthroughs. And I remember you were like, oh, yeah, I'm going on this journey. I'm so ready. And like,
Yeah.
that was so exciting for me as a coach because like, I could see that. So like when we have that alignment together, I was like, oh my God, this is going to be
Such a good feeling.
amazing. Yeah,
And it was.
definitely. Yeah. Well, let's dive into like, during our coaching together, obviously we had, our one-on-one sessions and then in
Mhm.
between we had like the Voxer text and voice note supports that were really connected throughout the 4 months that we worked together. So share with me, what do you feel like are the biggest like shifts that you've had in the time that we worked together? And let's start with relationship to self? Because I know, yeah, like you said, you were feeling stuck, like a shell of yourself, kind of empty and kind of like small. So what do you feel like shifted in terms of relationship to self and just like how you view yourself overall?
Literally everything. I love myself now. I love who I am. I love the body that I'm in. I love my life. I am excited to wake up in the morning now. Like I never used to, when I would wake up, I'd be like, oh, is it
Hmm.
time to go to bed yet? Like another day. But like now I'm just so happy with where I'm at in my life and who I am that it's just it's so weird going from like what I was over in the summer to now
Hmm.
because it's like two totally different people.
Yeah.
And it's like the most amazing feeling ever. Like I really truly didn't think I could get to this point.
Hmm. Yeah, I feel actually now that you said that, I actually remember you saying something along the lines of like, because I think I said like, how do you feel when you first wake up in the morning? And you were like, oh, I just like can't wait for the day to be over. Like from the
Yeah.
second I
Yeah.
wake up
Yeah.
and I appreciate you being transparent about that because I know a lot of people feel that way and I used to feel that way too. And I feel like you really dove into like, and I'm curious to hear more from you around like how do you feel like you approach like your days now? I know there was so much in terms of like the ways you take care of yourself, the ways that you
Mhm.
like speak to yourself, boundaries. Like tell me a little more about like some specific ways you've like shifted in terms of relationship to self.
I wake up and I do my affirmations still. Like I read off my paragraphs that we wrote together
Mm,
about what I want out of life. And um, I'm not so hard on myself with doing, I used to be really hard about working out every morning and like
mhm,
getting 2 hours of workouts in. And I'm just not as hard on myself with that. And I think that really has helped me in a way. Um, and I'm just like focusing on my food, focusing on doing things that make me happy. I'm
mhm,
saying no, like it's my only
mhm.
word in the dictionary that I know. Um,
Yeah.
and I honestly think saying no and just putting myself before others is the biggest game changer.
Hmm. Yeah, I know that was huge for you. And I remember, like, I think I even used the term, like, we like put your crown on your head, like during one of our sessions. And like, I feel like you have like embodied this like queen energy of like, oh, wait a second, I actually get to decide what
Yeah.
I want to do and like how I approach decisions. And I'm not here to just please every single person in my life. And like, releasing that like people pleasing pattern is so hard for women.
Yeah.
And I think before this work, it sounds like you felt like you didn't even like have that choice. And then once you
No.
realize that, it was kind of like, oh, wait, like my happiness actually gets to
Yeah.
come first. And I feel like that
Yeah.
gave you more energy to like show up for not only yourself, because I remember like in the rigidity and strictness with like workouts, but then I feel
Mhm.
like you started like moving your body in different ways and taking in more of the present moment with your workouts, like going for
Mhm.
runs and like taking in the ocean view and like all
Mhm.
of those other things. It sounds like you were able to like enjoy your like moments more in life more as you were taking care of yourself, as opposed to having to be this like disciplined like kind of
Yeah.
approach.
Yeah. Which makes it more enjoyable.
Hmm.
Like you don't need to have a strict schedule. You
Yeah,
can just have a schedule that,
exactly.
you know, makes you happy.
Yeah, and you gave yourself that balance of like I still get to have structure in my life. It's not like you were just like, oh, everything's a free for all, but it
Yeah.
was more of a internal reflection of, okay, like how does it feel good to move my body? Okay, what foods like make me feel like my best self? What do I want my mornings to look like? How can I spend more time like with myself? How can I reflect on the things that I want to do, the things that I don't want to do, or just more of that like internal check-in, right? With
Yeah.
everything in your life. It was like you really learned how to like consider yourself first. And so you kind of mixed that like structure and internal reflection, but also gave that like more of that flow of like, oh, I'm allowed to change my mind, or I'm
Yeah.
not gonna like beat the crap out of myself if I like change my mind or like miss a workout or something like that.
Hmm.
Like I still get to be like kind and compassionate towards myself.
Yeah. And that's like kind and compassionate was not something that was in my life for myself. I just never was
Yeah.
kind to myself about anything.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like your like internal dialogue shifted. And I think
Oh
when
yeah.
we went over that, like 6 pillars of self-love that I go over with every
Hmm.
client, and we keep checking in of like, okay, like compassion, self-acceptance, like all of those. I think it was like compassion was one where you're like, oh no, I'm so mean to
Yeah.
myself. And we got to
Yeah.
really look at like, how could I speak to myself more kindly and compassionately and like give myself some grace? And I feel like you totally changed that like inner dialogue, which I know is so hard for women. Like we are so hard on ourselves. It's like
Yeah.
the thing that I see the most commonly.
Yeah. It is. It's really hard to be nice with like everything we see around us. Like we're always just comparing
Hmm.
when in
Yeah.
reality, like, no,
Yeah.
no, I'm perfect in my own way.
Yeah. I feel like you like radiate confidence. Like, so it sounds like, before we started and like I could see that you had this like amazing, like queen, confident, empowered energy in you, but you were feeling kind of like, yeah, small and like maybe afraid to take up space. And I feel like now you are like fully shining your light, fully being you. And like, I think
Yeah.
also like feeling more authentically yourself as well.
Oh yeah. And it's so crazy to say. I mean, like I'm 33 years old and it took me this long to be able to be myself, and
Mm.
to feel how I want to feel.
Yeah. And I feel like 30s, regardless of age, because I hate to like always tie an age to something. Obviously,
Yeah.
I'm relating because for me, I feel like by the time when I turned like 31 is when I was really doing a lot of like deep
Hmm.
work. And I had that same thought of like, oh my God, imagine if I felt this connected to myself all along. But
Yeah.
we're always right where we're meant to be. And I feel like, especially after a breakup where we kind of feel like we've lost parts of ourselves or
Yeah.
like, who am I now? Like, in heartbreak, it's like there's this like energy of but like all these potentials, like, oh, I could rediscover myself. I can
Hmm.
write a new story. I can reflect on lessons. I can decide what I want to do differently. I can think about what did I learn from this person? Like what worked,
Yeah.
what didn't work. There's actually like it's actually a very powerful place to be is heartbroken, which sounds to someone who is heartbroken, it can be like, wait, I feel the opposite
Yeah.
of powerful and like
Yeah.
empowered at all because and I know for me it's like I've been like in the fetal position heartbroken many times,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
get that it feels like what I can't do
Yeah.
anything from here, but there is such an opportunity, and I think that sometimes like where coaching can really come in because you coming in feeling small, feeling not confident, feeling like I'm not happy, but like
Yeah.
I come in and I'm like, oh wow, like this is her moment. And so
Yeah.
like I get to kind of like believe in you first, but like I think once you kind of like come on board and you totally did because I think you got like a little sneak preview in those first couple of sessions with me and you
Hmm.
something ignited in you and you were like, "Oh, this is like my time."
Yeah.
You know?
It's like sign me up right now because I need this more than anything.
Yeah, no, I really relate to that feeling too because that's how I felt once I like got a taste of like, oh wait, like I can actually create, the
Yeah.
life that I want, the relationships that I want. So like let me step into that more of like an empowered place. So yeah, it's been really cool for me to witness that and share with me a little bit about we obviously did a lot of work around relationship to self because that's like the foundation of it all. You found your confidence, your queen energy, your empowered self, and like how you approach your life is obviously entirely different now.
Yeah.
Share with me like what were some beliefs that you used to have like around men, around dating, and like how do you feel like those have shifted now in terms of like, because obviously I know you deeply desire to get married and have a family. So like
Mhm.
what is different for you now in terms of your approach and like your overall beliefs?
Yeah, so I after that breakup, it really like did me in and I was just like I'm never gonna find love. Like I thought that was gonna be my person and
Hmm.
I've always felt that I wasn't good enough for them. Like I've never been the chosen one or like people never would want to work things out with me. They just tend to leave. But after working with you, like, I know I'm worth everything now and I know what I deserve and I know what I had in the past wasn't anything to what I deserve for the future. Um, so it's a different, I look at dating very differently now. Like when I would be like, I just feel like I need to have someone in my life. And everyone around me is married and having kids and in relationships, and I'm all alone. And that's okay. Like now I know that it's okay where I'm at. This is what my journey is in this moment, and I can't rush anything. I can work on things and I can, put into the universe what I want and what I want to find. I think what I've just really learned from working with you is to just like not rush the process and really whatever is meant to be is going to be. And, everything will happen when it's supposed to happen. And that's
Mhm.
like really helped me. I mean, I have my moments, of course, where I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm lonely, I
Mhm.
want someone. But then I look back and I'm like, yeah, but I need someone who can check these boxes off my list
Mhm.
now. And if they're
Mhm.
not willing to give it to me or willing to try and like work at it, then it's just not worth my time.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, you're bringing up so many good points because I think many women, right, especially women who, are like, yeah, I'd love to get married, I would love to have a family. It's like there's really two options. There can be this mindset of like, it will never happen. Everyone around me is married, is starting their family, and like, I'm the only one that's not. I never will. Like, it's easy for the mind to go there, and it's not about like, it's okay if that happens. Like, there's no shame with that. I think that's very normal, but it's about understanding that there is another option. Like, where can we really celebrate the happiness that, people are finding around us and like, wow, okay, like, look at all of this evidence of like what's possible. I really think that's one side of it is starting to be like, oh, look at evidence of like, my as an example, my best friend is getting married and, like this is her time. I really want to celebrate her and like my every day I'm closer to my time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that gets to be an outlook to have. But yeah, we also get to be a human. We all can have moments where we feel lonely, like,
Yeah.
like I'm single too. And yeah, so sometimes I do feel lonely. I'm a human
Mhm.
being. Sometimes I'm stressed about life or work or whatever it might be. And I'm like, oh wow, it would be really great to have a partner. Or when I want to shovel snow off my car. Well, I don't want to.
Yeah.
When I don't want to shovel snow off my car, I'm like, yeah, wow, it'd be really great to like have a partner right now,
Yeah.
so it's okay, but like there's also a mindset with that. Like you said, I
Mhm.
sometimes I feel lonely, but I also like have the moment and honor that feeling. Okay, yeah, I feel lonely because I
Yeah.
have a desire for this. But instead of going to that, like, it's never going to be me, it's not going to
Yeah.
happen, you're going to like, okay, I had a human moment and like my time's going to come and my person is out there. And I think it's about like, that's like the first thing to really believe in is like, my person is out there and like
Yeah.
that timing is going to be even better than what my brain thinks it should be. My brain says it should be right now, but like there's a more like epic timing and like circumstances that are going to be even better than what you could imagine.
And that's like the thing with me was like, when you go through a breakup, you're like, oh my, I'm never gonna be loved again. Like,
Mhm.
but it just being able to talk it out with you and everything like that, it's just like, what were you thinking? Like
Yeah.
there's so much out there and it's scary, but it takes time. Everything takes time.
Yeah. And, you've even approached like dating relationships differently in the sense of like, I know during our time working together, there was like, instances where maybe someone that you maybe were more like casually involved with from the past, or like people that weren't ready to like commit for a relationship, but maybe wanted to like spend time with you or hang out with you. And I feel like you got to this place of, you know what, like this is definitely not my person. Like my
Yeah.
person is gonna like be ready to like step up to the plate and like invest in me and build a relationship. And I feel like, there can be this mindset, especially when we really want a relationship, where it's so easy to settle or be like, well, I
Yeah.
enjoy like I enjoy the time I spend with them. It's okay if it's not all the time, or it's no big deal. I'm single. I can hang out with them and just it is what it is. But I feel like you got to this place and you did get to this place of like
Yeah.
speaking your truth and being like,
Yeah.
this actually doesn't work for me.
Yeah. No. And I absolutely love it. Like I
Hmm.
couldn't be happier because
Hmm.
I'm not afraid. Like even on the dating apps now, like back when I had the dating apps, so like a year ago or whatever, I would do prompts that were like silly and cute and like
Hmm.
whatever. And now they're like straightforward. Don't
Hmm.
get like as many likes, which is fine. I don't care because that just shows that there's they're not my people.
Hmm.
And like the ones who are willing to put in the effort into a relationship will swipe right.
Hmm. Exactly. Yeah. And I think that's really common too. And I know that used to be my approach, like on a dating app. I'm like, let me show that I'm funny. Let me show that I'm
Yeah.
adventurous. Let me show that I'm like all of these things so that people like me. But I think the thing to come down to, and I think I've even like I've said this so many times, like are we looking for everyone or the one? Like
But
the good
yeah.
news is you're looking for one person. So
Yeah.
I love like I'm not currently on dating apps, but when I was, like I actually loved that I hardly got likes because I was so clear
Yeah.
in my I could still show my personality. And it sounds like, you too, you're like, this is me authentically, like this is what I'm looking
Mhm.
for. But the more bold you can be in what you do want, like you
Yeah.
will attract in the man that's gonna read your profile and be like, oh wow, like she sounds like exactly what I'm looking for. Or, oh, she's describing me like on her app. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, there will be the guys that will say, oh my God, who does this girl think she is? She's
Yeah.
asking for too much. It's like, well, do you think that that's your soulmate? Probably not.
No. 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 But it's like, before I worked with you, it would break me. It would make me feel like I was nothing. And
Hmm.
it would make me feel really bad about myself
Yeah.
when I knew it shouldn't. But like now I just am like, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
And well, and that is why, like, the relationship to self is so important. That's why it's so important that you find your wholeness within, your worth within, because you know and embody those things. Like
Yeah.
that's how you live your everyday life now. You know, I'm worthy, I deserve it, I deserve to have what I want, I deserve to be loved well. And in the
Yeah.
meantime, like I have an amazing life that I've built for myself. I'm really intentional with my time and energy. And so you're not on the apps looking to fill a void. You're not looking
Yeah.
for men to validate that you're good enough. You already know that. So that's why you have this higher standard for yourself. And it really like elevates your energy and frequency of like, I know what I deserve. And so you also are not taking it personal if like someone can't be what you need. It's just like, oh, cool. It's actually a blessing to have that
Yeah.
so clearly. You know what I mean? Like to
Yeah.
know who's not for you is just as important, I think.
Yeah. I do too because it, you go through life sometimes and you think you deserve the bare minimum.
Hmm.
And it's just
Yeah.
kind of like, no, everybody deserves the world. Everyone deserves their perfect relationship.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's not easy to find sometimes, but that just means
Hmm.
it's gonna be worth the wait.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I know I've like made peace with that myself of like,
Yeah.
I like I'm not going to settle at this point. Like and I am really happy with yeah, my life and what I've created. And yeah, we can have the human moments of that reminder that we really want a partnership, but also it's like just finding that fulfillment in your everyday, like until then and knowing like, wow, when this comes into my life, like you when this comes
Yeah.
into your life, you're not going to be like, oh, I wish it happened, 2 weeks ago, or like, oh, this
Yeah.
wasn't good enough. You're going to be like, no, now it's like we always understand like once it happens, and this goes for anything in life, right? Whether it's
Yeah.
like a job or whatever else, like
Yeah.
we always can understand like when things work out, we understand why it had to happen that way. So it's like
Hmm.
I think there's a bigger like belief and mindset here too of like trusting the process. What would you say, coaching isn't, familiar with,
Hmm.
every single person doesn't understand like what coaching is or like, is this like therapy or,
Yeah.
what could I even expect? Like I'm curious first, like what would you say to someone that has like never done coaching before and like wants to know like what the experience is like in terms of coaching support?
Yeah, so I came in thinking like, oh, is it gonna be like therapy? Like I tried therapy. Therapy wasn't really for me.
Hmm.
Um, but coaching is just like completely different. Like it was just like talking to a friend with
Hmm.
like and being so comfortable and having a really safe place to just open up and like not be embarrassed by
Hmm.
anything, not be embarrassed by your feelings, or if you cry or if you're mad that day or like
Hmm.
whatever. Like I don't know, it's just like openness with someone
Hmm.
who you just instantly become close to because
Yeah.
they want to be there for you and like help you through everything. And it's just an amazing thing. I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah. And it sounds like that, everyone I think has different aspects of like what's important in terms of like the support, right? That they
Mhm.
that they have. And I'm all for whatever service like works best for the individual. Like if
Yeah.
you find a great therapist and that's your connection and that's
Yeah.
changing your life, like amazing. And I also know that like for me that also didn't work. But it sounds like that connection piece and that alignment piece is so important to you. And what I hear from a lot of my clients is like, oh, it was so awesome I felt connected to you because of like the things you've been through in relationships. So I
Yeah.
wasn't just kind of this person that has, um, a specific modality or a skill, like
Yeah.
coaching, for example. It's not like I was just like, hey, I know how to coach. It was like, I
Yeah.
know how to coach, but also like I have freaking been there. So
Yeah.
like I'm like coming with that like let's do this together. It's like that like yeah, just really clear alignment between us.
Yeah. And that's what I like loved so much about it because like it wasn't not like going by a book because like
Yeah.
we just I would say something and you'd be like, I went through the same thing. Like I
Hmm.
know that feeling and like it just didn't feel like I was like I don't know, being coached. It just felt like I
Yeah.
was talking to my friend about
Yeah.
everything. It was just so
Yeah.
simple and so easy and carefree, you
Yeah.
know?
Yep. Yeah, I totally feel like we had that flow, just
Yeah.
in our sessions. And I think like that's why for me it's so important to make sure that like anyone I work with that it is a good fit and that we have that connection because the sessions are deep and vulnerable. And like I love how
Yeah.
you're describing it, that it felt so easy and carefree because that is what happens when like that's how support should feel. Like if it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like those
Hmm.
things, like it's time to find different support because
Yeah.
like it's deep work, that
It's
we're
yeah,
doing
it's
together.
yeah, it's deep and it's hard. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm not someone who just easily opens up to people, and I'm usually
Yeah.
someone who holds everything in and until I explode.
Yeah.
And like I don't ever want to burden people. So
Hmm.
I always keep things to myself, but like with you, it was just so easy. Like the first time I was just like, wow, like I just did that so simply. Like
Yeah.
it just came out.
Yeah. And I try to, I think in going through a lot within my own relationships, like yeah, I try to hold this space of, yeah, like there is no judgment here. This is just a
Yeah.
compassionate space for you. And like there is no one size fits all. Like relationships are hard,
Yeah.
heartbreak is hard. And I think I have
Mhm.
such a fascination for like helping people grow from those experiences. So it's like I'm kind of coming from that energy and like inviting you to really like open up. And I think creating
Yeah.
such a safe space is key. And like, yeah, you've got to have someone that you can fully open and trust because otherwise it's going to be like, walls
Yeah.
up, right? Which
Yeah.
isn't going to help.
No.
Um, yeah, is there anything else like in terms of the coaching support, anything else in your life that you feel like has shifted? Because obviously we've talked about like relationship to self, how you're now like how you've essentially like overcome this heartbreak and you're not held
Mhm.
back from your past anymore. Now, how you have this trust and you're approaching relationships differently. Anything else that you feel like has shifted for you? I know we touched a little bit on friendship earlier, so I don't know if you want to add anything there or just anything else. Yeah, that's coming up for you.
Like with friendships, have just realized it's okay to let people go. It doesn't matter
Hmm.
how long they've been in your life for.
Yeah.
It people grow apart and it's totally normal. And you
Yep.
meet new people who literally become your closest friends. Like I
Hmm.
met someone back in like September and
Hmm.
I met her through my college friend and we just click. And she's like a breath of fresh air. It's just like,
Hmm.
some relationships go and then you just
Hmm.
get new ones and
Yep.
they're like better for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I've just learned that some of my friendships probably have just the times come and
Yeah.
we're all on different paths. And it's just a good feeling to know that I don't have to stay connected to people just because. Um,
Hmm.
and it's just, it helps me get through my days and like move forward in life.
Yeah.
Um, to just realize that everything happens for a reason and it's fine and
Yeah.
it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, so much like acceptance, I feel like,
Yeah.
of your journey, timing, the past. And I feel like that was like really probably one of the biggest themes of,
Hmm.
your journey with coaching and this and the support is that like making peace with the past and not letting the past hold you
Yeah.
back. Because initially the support was to like, fully close this. I think that was your exact words, like fully close this
Yeah.
chapter from your past. But I also think like you also realize like, oh, there are some friendships in my life that like it is time to release them. It is time,
Yeah.
and it's not like you just like threw people in the garbage and like discarded people. Like you have, intentionally reflected and just realized like this actually like isn't best for me, like or them, and I get to like honor the end of this. And it doesn't mean that there weren't great moments in the past, but it's all about like you've really claimed like your new story and really being clear on like, okay, I want to be intentional with my time and energy and like who I spend that with. And like, I
Yeah.
think once you gave yourself permission to like actually
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't have to just keep people in my life because they've been there. I actually like get to choose, which is so empowering.
It really is. It just makes a difference with everything. Like it it just helps me with everything. Um,
Hmm.
just putting everything in the past that's supposed to be in the past and stay in the
Yeah.
past and to just be able to look forward and not have to keep wanting to look back at everything. Like
Yeah.
that door has finally closed and it's
Yep.
the best feeling ever.
Close those doors, then it's like, oh, I actually have the time, the space
Hmm.
open for the right people. And then as you described, oh, I met someone last fall and it was just like, oh, easy. Like
Yeah.
it gets to be easy. And so even describing like with that friend and then even
Mhm.
like our connection as well, you're like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
It's effortless. You're just understood. People like, and that's one of the, I think, top qualities when I describe like authentic friendship and just authentic
Hmm.
relationships in general is like you are effortlessly understood. And
Yeah.
there's not like, oh my God, like I have to over explain and like all of these things. And it's just awesome to see you like really claim like what you deserve in every type of, relationship in your life.
It's it's game changing. It's life changing. It's just like
Yeah.
it's such a good feeling.
Absolutely. And I know that like I said, each day you're closer to that partnership that you deserve. And I'm like so pumped for this to come into your life. And I want to know just to like wrap up, this awesome conversation, like what would you say to someone that is maybe scared to invest in themselves in this type of way?
I would say do it. It's worth every dollar. It's worth every moment, every minute, every second. Time to get yourself back into gear and to sign up because you'll be one step closer to living the life that you've always wanted to live.
Yeah. No, I love the way that you said that. Yeah, because it's really the kind of like reclaiming, like even if you don't
Yeah.
know what's coming next, like once you choose to invest in your like healing journey, your growth, your personal development, all
Yeah.
of that, like once you decide like, hey, I'm doing this and like this is my time, you're kind of claiming that's really the beginning of your transformation
Yeah.
because you're already showing up differently. So I know for me, before I started investing in coaching, yeah, I was like sad about my ex and like blah, going through my days. Every day was just like blah, yep, another day. Okay, I got through the work day. I'm gonna zone out and watch
Yeah.
Netflix. And I'm not really thrilled to wake up each morning. And it's like
Mhm.
when I finally was like, oh, I need a new story, but I don't know how to get there. And it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna actually dive into this and dive into
Yeah.
myself. Yeah, making that investment. And then like you're like energetically
Right.
committed from that point and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm doing this. And like truly think like that's the first step. So I'm so proud of you because like I said, you like from the beginning, I like felt this like spark ignite within you and you really claimed that you get to be happy, your life gets to be different, your past does not get to dictate your present, your future
Mhm.
anymore. And like truly the empowerment that you have found like the confidence that you have found. I even remember on one of our sessions, like where you realized that you were like this confident like queen. Like I'll never forget that
Yeah.
energy. You were like, oh wait, I actually like I am actually really confident. Like, and
Yeah.
when that clicked in your mind, it was like a light bulb went off, and I'm like, because I was
Yeah.
like, I kind of see you as very confident, and I think once you realized that, you were like, holy shit, like I
Yeah.
am. This is amazing.
Yeah. No, it was those were the best 4 months. I mean, I didn't even recognize who I was afterwards because
Yeah.
it's two totally different people. Even like my family and friends, they were like my parents would be like, whoa, like, wow, like you're completely different in the most positive
Yeah.
way ever, you know? They were
Yeah.
like, you finally are just getting your sparkle back. And it like
Hmm.
meant the world to hear that because
Yeah.
I didn't have it for so long.
Yeah, and it is awesome too, like because people can start to see like when we glow differently or like show up differently
Yeah.
and just like carry ourselves in a different way. Also, like I know even at work, you were like taking some
Yeah.
of like what had supported you in your sessions and like sharing it with your coworkers. And I think that's why I love this work is because it really is such a ripple effect. Because once like you work on yourself, then you have like you're emitting more positive energy out. It's impacting literally everyone around you.
Mhm.
And yeah, and that's so cool to just witness. And you're such a light. You have so much to offer. And like I'm just so glad that obviously I saw that all along. I was like, this girl is amazing. And like I know that everything you desire is going to happen for you. Like, and you are well on your way and you've already achieved so much. And I'm just glad that now it's not just me that sees that. Like you see it, you know it, you live
Yeah.
that, and it was like it's just a true honor to support you and to just have you in my world is a true blessing. So thank you.
And I feel the same. I feel very lucky to have you. You're just amazing. I mean, I could like cry right now because I miss you so much. But you've just helped me become who I've always wanted to be,
Oh,
you
oh,
know?
I love you so much. Yeah, it's like I said, a true honor. And like, even though we've wrapped up working together, like obviously you're still in my world and, my clients
Yeah.
and I like, we literally are like soul family. And I
Oh yeah.
absolutely consider that with, for you, for really anyone that I work with, because it is such a like intimate, close, connected journey that we go on. And so
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for you, Courtney. You are amazing. And I just appreciate you being so like open and vulnerable during this convo because I know it's gonna help a lot of women, that are feeling stuck in a breakup and realizing like, oh wait, she did this, like I
Yeah.
can do it. So thank you so much again.
No, thank you. You're amazing. Couldn't have done it without you.